Good Monday morning. What a lovely morning for me that I woke up with 2 massive spots that I picked and now they look even worse. My hair's looking good though, you know, like I blow dried it last night, used my little Olaplex, I think it's called like something Bonder, smoothing Bonder, and just tied it in a bun because I looked like Hermione when I first blow dried it. Tied it in a bun and it's kind of made it look like I've had a little bit of a blow dry because it's like flicking. Quick, heatless waves, like look at this. Like if you have no time for heatless waves, whack your hair up in a spiral, like twist it because it looks presentable. I'm at the gym, it's pouring with rain. It's a new week. We had a fantastic weekend, which you saw, I think. Getting into this new routine of vlogging, I'm loving it. Hopefully you're loving it. If you're loving it, the best thing you can do for my videos is subscribe, hit the notification bell, like the video, comment, share, all that kind of stuff, because it helps to boost my videos if you enjoy them and if you want more people to see them and enjoy the relaxation of just hanging out with my day-to-day life. Today is a work kind of in the office. All of us are in the office today, and then I'm gonna do my little weekly shop this afternoon. Did our Riverfood delivery last night. I've got quite a few food shoots this week, so had to get a lot of food in. Doing a food shoot for my YouTube channel and then doing a food shoot for the website. So yeah, busy week of that. Get my nails sorted tomorrow. Feeling ready for the week, but I need to stop chatting and dawdling because I've got to get on. Whew, got caught in the rain. Fab gym session. That was full body. And I'm working on my like front squats because I hate them. They're just really, I find them really painful on my shoulders. I don't know if it's just me or everyone has that. But it's on my workout plan. I use Copilot Fitness, by the way. I do have a little 3-day trial if you want to use it. They have gifted this service to me and I do work with them. Not an ad, but I do use them literally every day because it's so great. She just switched my workouts, I think, so it's like a whole new set of workouts, which is nice because it's a bit of variety. And I just really enjoyed that today. Don't know if it's because I'm just had a good weekend, I'm just loving it. Maybe it's actually, no, it's the time of the month. I feel like this time during the month is when I feel like really like, woohoo, yay, gym. I feel strong. And I was able to do everything really quickly. And I've got to get back though because I don't have very long. I'm in a bit of a rush this morning and I'm quite hungry. One thing I'm thinking of changing is, I think I mentioned this, that I don't eat before the gym because I find it makes me feel a bit sick. However, when I'm in the gym, because I'm starting to go more regularly, it's like fine if you're doing it twice or 3 times a week, but if you're going 4-5 times a week, I'm finding when I'm in the gym, I start to get quite hungry and I feel like my energy levels aren't there. And I noticed that today. I was thinking, gosh, I wish I'd eaten. So I'm listening to my body, and this was something I was just thinking about in the gym, that, and I'm not going to go on a ramble because I've got to get home, but like if you're similar to me as a woman who's sort of listened to everybody else for so long, other people's advice, men's advice, fitness gurus, health gurus' advice, listen to your own body, because honestly, if you're sitting there thinking I need the answer to all my problems, I need to like, you know, find the diet that works for me or find the workout routine that works for me, please try and listen to your body. And I know it sounds so blatantly obvious as I'm saying out loud, but sometimes you forget to. You follow other people's advice thinking, well, you know, if I just keep doing it, it's going to work or it's going to make me feel good. Just listen to your body, and also your body changes. Sometimes something that feels good might not feel good later. That's a good example of this, that I wasn't going to the gym quite frequently. So I did find going to the gym without eating was preferable for me because I felt a bit sick if I'd eaten. However, I think I'm going to try and change it up and have like a light, like maybe like a smoothie pre-breakfast, pre-gym, and then have something to eat after the gym, because I'm going so much more. I think it's my body saying, you know, you're really using your muscles. We need that repair. We need that recovery. So just a reminder, if you've been doing anything that you've not been listening to your body with, try and really pay attention to the signals it's giving you, because that's probably when you're going to start to really feel the best you've ever felt. And I'm slowly trying to piece that together. As a 32-year-old who's been fed so much diet misinformation and health misinformation for my whole life, and experienced an eating disorder, experienced body dysmorphia, like I feel like I'm really, I don't know, it's difficult out there. There's so much stuff being fed to you all the time. Anyway, gotta get home. Alex is on a roll. In the last video you saw that he made hitter And now he's making crumpets. I actually cannot believe that this is the first time you've ever made these. They look absolutely incredible. I mean, some of them haven't gone lumpy, but holy, but look at that. Does that not look like it's from a shop?
That was the first one I made.
Well, that's the best one.
It sort of went downhill.
How come these went like this?
Because they were a bit gooey on top still, but they were like burning on the bottom, so I turned them over and they went whoop.
That's amazing.
Kind of, like by the 10th one you get a bit bored.
Wow. Oh my gosh, well I know what I'm having. What's in them?
Just regular like bread ingredients.
Oh my gosh.
Flour, water, yeast, baking powder, salt, and then I think there's like a half a teaspoon of sugar because it's you leave it for like 15 minutes instead of like an hour and a half. So it just
wow. Well, that's amazing because the ones from the shop are full of rubbish.
Yeah. I'll have some Marmite. Have we got any Marmite?
We can get some. Oh no! What are you gonna have on them?
I wasn't going to eat them now. I was going to have.
Well, you've got to eat one.
I'm going to have my homemade pitters for lunch.
But you've got to have one.
I might have one. I'll have the.
With some butter.
The one, that one that's gone a bit funny.
Yeah.
That's just
wow. Were they easy?
I didn't grease the inside very much. They work once you get the hang of it. I had to like. These ones.
Oh, you need a straight one.
No, these are better because they're a bit like almost angled, so they come apart more. Whereas these ones, they stuck. Yeah. So I've decided these two are better.
Well, they're cookie cutters. They're not really meant for this.
Well, it said use a cookie cutter.
Oh, okay.
The ingredient.
Anyway, I've got a phone call in a minute. Good afternoon. I feel like my hair looks funny because I haven't done it today. Alex has made crumpets, which is so cool, and he also made the pitta bread, so I'm gonna have some pitta. And then you need to stop with the bread because there's so much bread now. Shall I make soup? Oh, it's so late in the day. No, I think I should make some soup.
Okay.
Because we've got wild garlic. Should I make pesto? I just feel like all I've been eating is the wild garlic pesto. We had a Sainsbury's delivery, so we've got basil, we've got lettuce, spinach. Oh, I don't know what to do now. I'll have a little think off camera, so that's not boring for you. But I just got off the phone actually with Wald Nutrition because they want to send me some of their supplements, and the way it works is that they have a consultation with you where you speak to them about the concerns you have or the supplements that you would like to use. And it's something that was on my mind because I feel like I have a cupboard full of supplements. It's actually something one of you guys said because I was making a smoothie and I was sort of just throwing lots of things in, and you were like, I think one of you said that's quite a potent mix of things. So I just wanted to kind of be mindful of what I personally need and what's applicable to me. And I think that's really important when you are taking supplements. And also Wald Nutrition supplements are all food based. They're not synthetic, they're natural, which means that you're gonna digest and process them differently than synthetic ones. There's lots of studies now coming out that show that supplements that are food based and natural will work a lot better. Basically, they're gonna work a lot better than the synthetic ones because synthetic ones have lots of different ingredients that our body is not used to. I think we're going to be trying out some protein powder because they have a protein powder, which is really cool because it's nice to have a variety. I'm always taking the same one every day, but she said something on the phone then, she said, oh yeah, it's quite nice to have different ones. I was like, that's so true because I've been listening to so many more podcasts about variety and whole foods and just kind of, yeah, having your diet be more varied. And I'm having the same protein powder every day, which means I'm getting the same protein source every day. So it's nice to have a mixture. So you're maybe trying different protein sources, different protein powders. Things like B12 are obviously important because I'm vegan. She mentioned about omega-3, though I don't think Wald Nutrition do vegan omega-3, but she recommended a brand that did. Iron supplements whilst you're on your period can be really helpful if you have a heavier period or if you are someone who has low iron. And then also, what was the other one we talked about? Ashwagandha with magnesium for stress levels, because I mentioned that is probably the thing that bothers me. I get PMS, I get very stressed, and ashwagandha is Indian ginseng and it's very relaxing, and magnesium is the same. And also she mentioned magnesium for sleep, but also for any sort of period cramps or sort of tinges in your body. It can really help with that. So I'm really interested and I'm really excited because it's not something I've ever been as considered about before. I feel like I just was like, oh, I'm vegan, so I'll take a B12 and vitamin D in the winter, and maybe sometimes I take an omega. But if you're not thinking about these things, they can kind of creep up on you if you're not being very, very mindful of the food you're eating day in, day out, which sometimes we don't have time for. So it's quite helpful to just top yourself up. Supplements are supplements. They're not like the main basis of your diet. You know how much I champion eating a whole foods, kind of like varied plant-based diet with lots of variety and lots of treats and not sort of limiting anything. But it doesn't mean you're always going to be perfect. And if you're vegan, you're going to potentially have some weeks or some days where maybe you didn't have so much of the other things. So it's just something to help with, and it can create a bit more consistency. And as someone who does get quite bad PMS and potentially PMDD, I think that that could be a very helpful path to take supplements that can kind of help with that and see what difference it makes. Because if I notice that there's a difference, then it's something that I can really like be more mindful of and aware of, and not just kind of suffer. I feel like so many women, we just have these problems, we speak to doctors, they go, yes, it's fine, you're fine, it's normal, but then you just have to live with these kind of underlying just issues. Like me getting PMS quite regularly and being quite down, I know it's connected to stress for me. When I'm mentally like depressed and anxious, my PMS is really bad, whereas when I'm not, it's okay, it's like normal. So I know as a 32-year-old what things are contributing, things like sleep as well. I think sleep and stress are the main two. Sometimes also it can be food, but I think that's too inconsistent for me to really know. Going vegan, I did say this in one of my little Q&As that I did for my book launch. When I went vegan, that was actually the one thing that I can say, because I hate spouting kind of like these sort of, I don't know, these very like picture perfect ideas of you go vegan, your health is going to transform, because I don't know that that's necessarily true for everybody. I think that I'm a very healthy person, you know, my hair's nice and healthy, I've got long nails, my skin's good, like I'm a good advocate in that sense, but I didn't have like this transformative vegan experience like some people share, which is wonderful, but lots of people maybe are coming from a place of being ill, whereas I wasn't ill. I guess the main transformative thing for me was my relationship with food improved. My point is, what was I saying? Period. Yes, when I went vegan, pretty much immediately my period pain reduced. So I had always suffered with bad period pain. And when I went vegan, basically it went away. And now I only get period pain very, very rarely. And usually it's because I have been exceptionally tired or exceptionally stressed. And that is something I can really track on my Clue app. So I track my period on my app. And if I've had a month where I've been very, very stressed or very, very tired, then my period might be late, or I'm gonna have bad PMS, or I'm gonna have period pain. Not to the degree I used to have period pain. I'll just need to go to bed and I'll maybe be lying there with a paracetamol feeling quite uncomfortable. But it's so helpful to know these things and to be aware of them, and to actually speak to people about them and not just deal with it alone, to actually get help and make sure that you're advocating for yourself and taking care of your body. So it's a nice first step for me, because I do have health anxiety, so I do get worried about speaking about these kinds of things on the internet. So please, I will say, try and be careful with your comments. Don't start diagnosing me and saying scary things to me, because I won't appreciate that. I've been to plenty of doctors, I'm healthy, I'm fine. But yeah, it's a nice thing to think about, and hopefully an interesting experience. So I'll have to update you in the future with how it goes. And I'm gonna make lunch now. Maybe a soup, maybe just pita bread, because I don't know if I can be bothered to make soup. We've got all that wild garlic though. Could I make something with the wild garlic, like a wild garlic soup? But it's like 1:05 on a Monday. Do I really want to be like making a whole?
No, I think do it tomorrow. It still looks fresh. And
but what will I have in my pita? There's nothing to put in the pita bread. No, I'm gonna make soup. I'm gonna make soup and I'll show you. So I think what I'm gonna do is a couple of shallots. I've got some potatoes, so I'll do I'll use the small ones, because I'll do a little potatoes. I'll put all this spinach in there, and then a nice handful of wild garlic, because I collected a lot. So I'm gonna make some more wild garlic pesto, but also I'll put it in this soup. And I'm thinking some coconut milk, but now I'm thinking, would that be strange with these sorts of flavours? No, I don't think so. I could put cashews in it. Basically, there needs to be some sustenance, you know, like, not the coconut milk. I need to use up, I'm gonna put this in there. This is oat milk. I'll put a handful of cashews and a bit of nutritional yeast and maybe a few peas. Is there peas in the freezer? Because that will add some protein. Yes, and some peas. And if you're someone who loves soup, but you always buy it, basically the principle of soup is very simple, and it's so easy to just make any kind of soup with seasonal vegetables, with stuff you have in your cupboard. You want onion, garlic to begin with, because it's going to add that lovely depth of flavour. And then things like carrot and celery also add that different depth of flavour. There's a word for it in French and Italian. Oh, I always forget it, but it's like mille-feuille, something like that. It's at the base of most soups. I very rarely have celery, so I just don't bother with it, but it does add quite a nice depth of flavour. Potato is great to add in it for that starchy texture, to make it thicker and to give it that fullness effect when you're eating it, so it's filling. And then you want to add whatever veg. You can roast the veg for even more deliciousness, like roasted broccoli soup is always delicious, roasted tomato soup, roasted pumpkin soup, roasted courgette soup, whatever. You can roast your veg if you're feeling lazy to chuck it in the oven, and then you just blend it up with your fried onion and garlic and carrots, and you've got yourself a delicious soup. So yeah, it's essentially just the base of like frying your onion and garlic and your carrot and your celery, and then adding vegetables, and then adding vegetable stock. I just use store-bought vegetable stock, but I really want to start making my own. I've been freezing the ends of my veg, but I keep on forgetting to add more. So you add your vegetable stock. I always just add it to cover the vegetables, around 1 litre to 1.5 litres, but it very much depends on how much you're making. And then you want to maybe add a bit of, you can add flavour in. So if you're wanting to do a spicy soup at the start when you're cooking your onion and garlic, you can add some spices, some cumin, paprika, chilli, turmeric, those kinds of things. And you can also add things like chopped tomatoes to make it tomatoey. You can add coconut milk to make it creamy. You can add beans or nuts to make it a bit more high in protein, a bit more kind of like substantial. There's like lots of different things you can do, and it doesn't need to be complicated. If you've got a favourite soup of yours that you make, then just try and recreate it at home. You don't need to buy it from the shop. And if you know the principle of soup, you can kind of just throw it together. So the way I'm thinking about it now, I'm just like, well, I've got my veg, I've got my base, and then what sort of like fullness additions can I add? So like, could it be coconut milk or cashews for creaminess? Because lots of vegan soup obviously doesn't have things like cheeses or milks that sometimes soup has. So you can substitute that. So that's my little soup spiel, but I'm gonna chop up my veg and then we'll cook it all up together and make a delicious wild garlic spinach soup, I guess I'll call it. I also recommend that you make a large batch of it and then freeze half, so you have soup ready to go when you want it. Because very often you've got a lunch where you're just like, oh, I haven't got time. Or if you work in an office, you can just grab it and take it with you and microwave it. Meal prepping can be as simple as just, I've said this in the last video, I think it can be as simple as just doubling whatever it is you're making and freezing it. So you've got it ready to go. And this works in particularly well if you are single or you live as a couple, you don't have like a large family, because I'm aware doubling a recipe if there's like 6 of you probably is a bit silly or difficult. So now I've added the stock, I'll bring it to a boil and then cook the potatoes until they're softened, so for about 10 minutes. And then I'll add in all of the spinach and a really large helping of wild garlic. as well as the cashews, and blend it up, and I'll see what the thickness is like, and if it's still quite thin I can add in a few more cashews, and I'll also add in a touch of this oat milk because I really need to eat it. Eat it, drink it. Our potatoes cooked, so I'm going to add in loads of spinach, which is all going to disappear immediately and wilt. Some frozen peas. I'm going to do the wild garlic right at the end just because I don't really want it to like cook too much or anything. And then I'm going to do probably about half a cup of cashews. Should be enough because we've got the potato in there too. And then I like to add nutritional yeast to foods like this because it adds extra B12 and just a really nice flavour because it's got that cheesiness, so it just makes soup taste yummy. And then some pepper. I try not adding like salt if I've got vegetable stock because then I feel like it becomes very salty. I'll bring this to a boil just because the frozen peas have gone there, it's kind of gone a bit cold, and then I'll add in the wild garlic.
I did wake up at 8, I didn't know what was going on.
So I've got some of this Oatly creme fraiche, which is actually really, really good. I want to start maybe on my channel, or like, I don't know, I want to start learning or trying to make my own butter, my own creme fraiche, that kind of thing, and share it with you because I feel like that's something that actually I'm quite motivated to do. We're off, out. I've got my hat back on. We're back into winter. It's that cold. I need to get more clothes in this colour because every time I wear this, I bet you someone's already commented saying, that colour's nice on you. I feel like it does suit my hair colour. I'm loving the way that she cut my hair this time. I asked her to do it more blunt at the bottom, and I feel like it looks way healthier and like thicker at the bottom because I do have fine hair. I'm even thinking of maybe dyeing that cardigan that I told you about that had stains on it a red colour, because I said black or brown, but all of you were like, why don't you do it like a burnt orange or a red? So maybe I should do that. We are going to Stuart Lee later and I totally forgot, so we're going out to eat at, where is it, Ask Italian?
Yeah.
And Alex showed me that they have quite a good vegan menu.
We haven't been to those kind of chains in a while.
No. Got myself my favourite Delicious Liella snack. These are 10 out of 10. The camera's going to go flying.
It's 2:30.
And my first coffee of the day at 2:30.
You're free.
Is it a bit rainy? That was a very nice and wet walk. Off to the natural store to get some bits, what's new, and the battery's dying. Did I bring one with me? I thought I put one in my pocket. Did I bring a battery? Because I thought you saw me do it. Oh, do you know what I think I did? I think I literally saw it and thought, nah, I won't need that battery. Time for food haul. So we went to the shops and I got a stock up of beans because I was noticing that for lunches sometimes I was like, I really want some beans or something with protein, and I was buying just what we needed for the meal plan. So stocked up on chickpeas, cannellini beans, that is for a recipe, 4 tins of Suma organic chopped tomatoes. These have been like on offer in that shop for ages. I think they must have like had a big stock of them. So I got 4 of those. We ran out of maple syrup and they had pure amber Canadian maple syrup. Buttery caramel taste, perfect for pouring on pancakes. quinoa. They had some really interesting quinoas in there. They had smoked quinoa, red quinoa, whole grain quinoa. Never seen those before. So that's actually something that's really lovely about going to like local shops or health food shops, is that you can get a variety of the grains that you eat every week, and that's really like helpful, healthful to have different things. Pepperminty, stock up for the evening. Alex got some more flour, wholemeal flour. My favourite mangoes. Some wholemeal bread flour as well. Strong bread flour, so you can make a wholemeal loaf. He was saying that it's quite tricky to get that in the supermarket. And then we got some butter beans, that is for a recipe. But I got some extra butter beans. I love butter beans. I know some people don't like them, but I love them. And some more chickpeas. And then Alex got this because I smashed the Marmite the other day. They didn't do the normal brand of Marmite, so I'm interested to see what this tastes like. The brand is Natex. I feel like they never taste as good as Marmite, so I'm dubious, but you never know. And then I picked up a new face wash. I've never tried this one. This is from Green People, natural and organic, right up my street. It's vegan, cruelty-free, gluten-free, in the Good Shopping Guide for Being Ethical, Soil Association organic, and Cosmos organic, certified by the Soil Association. Suitable for sensitive skin, those who are prone to acne, eczema and psoriasis. It's got prebiotics, squalane, shea butter, jojoba oil and calendula extract. So this, if I like this, it's going to be good because I can get it in the shop, because I tend to forget to order things and then it's too late. I've heard of Green People before, but I feel like I've only ever had something from them once before, and 10% of net profit is donated to charity, so I feel like that's just like a tick, tick, tick. And they even say nature and science in balance, which is exactly what I always go for with skincare, is like the natural brands that are also taking into consideration science. And it's 91% organic. So I'll let you know what this is like. So I'm gonna get ready now because we're going out this evening to see Stuart Lee. Alex's brother got him this as a Christmas present, I think. We're gonna go to Ask Italian first, and we're gonna leave in about an hour. So I'm just gonna go get ready and then do a bit of work if I'm ready early. Kitchen OOTD seems applicable for the fact that I'm always in the kitchen. I want to show you this dress though. Let's take off this cardigan. This dress I got in Penzance in a vintage shop. I'm going to put on screen what it's called. I feel like it's called Happy Days Vintage, but that might be wrong and that might be somewhere else. But I've got so many dresses from it. It's a gorgeous little vintage shop and it's got so much stuff in there. My boobs are definitely out. But this is a good example of finding a dress that really flatters my silhouette. I feel so good in this, and I need to remember I don't really have a waist, so my under bust measurement, so like my bra measurement, is basically the same as my waist measurement, very, very slightly different, like a couple of inches. Whereas people who have smaller waists, women who have smaller waists, there'll be quite a big difference. It kind of goes, you know, in and then out. I'm kind of a bit more like this, so it's something I'm quite self-conscious about, that lots of dresses cinch in at your waist and they're not particularly flattering on me. This is more of an empire line that sits just below my bust, so it skims that and it just looks so much better because I'm so tall. It emphasises that, and I need to remember this. Also, this kind of wrap shape really flatters your bust. I like the sleeves, and this dress, like, you would not get this affordably in a just a high street shop now. They just don't have this amount of material. And look at all the material. Like, I feel like if you were to buy this from a shop now, it would be hundreds. It's a beautiful polka dot, such a flattering neckline. So yeah, go check out your vintage shops because they're going to have classic shapes and styles that are going to be so flattering for your figure, so timeless. And then I've got my Vivea little Mary Jane pumps. I might have a discount code with Vivea, so I'll put it on screen if I do, and if I don't, maybe I'll hound them for one because they've given me discount codes in the past. But these are so comfortable. I've got them in black as well, and my sister even got some because she loved them so much. So these are beautiful red colour, and they all have this amazing fabric material that is so comfortable, and you can put them in the wash. They're made from like recycled plastic bottles, just a win-win. This cardigan is from Nobody's Child because it is still winter. It's like, it feels like spring this afternoon because the rain has gone and it's that kind of light, but it's still cold. So I want to wear spring dresses like this and be all lovely and springy, but I can't really. So I've got a cardigan, which kind of makes it a bit more casual. And then I've got my handbag that I've not worn in so long because I've just not been out as much in the winter. And then I need a coat. I feel like it's boring. Do I wear this one? Is this boring? Or is it just classic? I feel like it's just classic. I really need to roller this. I keep on saying that I need to roller it and then I never do. I also just very quickly Dyson air wrapped my hair. If you're someone who struggles with the air wrap, because I do, I feel like it never stays and it takes forever. Instead of sectioning your hair like from the bottom layer up, section it and go from the back to the front and then flip each piece back because it takes half the time and it's less of a faff because it's going to fall out anyway. So I just start at the back in small sections and work my way forwards, and then it has this kind of tousled wavy look that's so much better. But yeah, I feel like this works because it's navy. We've got to go because we've got to drop Bobby at my parents because we're going to be gone all evening, so it's a bit too long to leave her. So let's go get out. And I'll probably see you tomorrow. I'm just absolutely loving my hair colour and cut this time. Just think it's all the hard work with the oiling and looking after my hair. I feel like it's paying off because it's like, I just feel like it's looking so nice. Anyway, let's go. I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning. It's Tuesday today. I feel like if I got you down, I think that this is going to be a 2-day vlog. Because I'm doing the weekly vlogs, I'm going to catch up so that I'm ahead, basically, because you don't want to be editing last second. You want to film with enough time to then get the video edited before the weekend. So I'm trying to catch up a little bit. So no, it's a 3-day vlog, I think. Last night we went to see Stuart Lee and it was very funny. He's definitely a comedian for men. As in, like, he even made the joke during his set about all the girls or all the wives or partners who'd been dragged along by their partners or husbands, which I thought was very funny. But he's very funny, very, very funny. And it's very, I was saying to Alex on the drive home, it's very refreshing because I don't typically like stand-up comedy because it's so often like bats down and like just is rude and offensive to women or gay people or anyone, like anyone who is disadvantaged in any way. I feel like loads of male comedians, they just fall back on that because they are lazy with their comedy and they just think, oh, the funniest thing is the thing that's going to get the biggest laughs, which is going to be the uncomfortable thing that loads of people don't say but lots of people secretly think, which is kind of like playing up to, I guess, like the kind of bad parts of human nature where people have prejudices against other people, but it's kind of laughing at the expense of the few people in the room who actually find it uncomfortable. So sometimes when I've been at comedy shows, they're making kind of sexist jokes and you're kind of like, I'm laughing, or you I suppose like as I got older, I stopped laughing at these kinds of things. Same as when you watch films or TV shows, you're kind of laughing, but it's a kind of an uncomfortable laugh where it's kind of like, oh my God, I can't believe he just said that kind of laugh. And it's very refreshing to see a comedian who is genuinely hilarious and doesn't fall back on lazy jokes that just offend people. He's just making fun of things that are funny, and it's a bit more in depth and a bit more interesting. So yeah, like there were certain things that obviously don't relate to me because I'm not his target audience. But it's a refreshing comedian when they're not being lazy with it, and they're thinking of what's actually funny and not like hurting anyone's or making anyone feel uncomfortable. I know there's such a debate about this. Like people think it's like, oh, you're ruining comedy if you like remove what people make jokes about. But I just disagree. I just think that there's a point with comedy where it's like, it's just lazy and it's actually not that funny. And it's far more interesting when someone makes jokes about things that are like actually funny, not just the same old. Anyway, Alex had a lovely time. I've made my breakfast before the gym. We'll see how this goes. Fingers crossed I leave enough time. It's 8:30, so I usually go to the gym at like 9, so this is not looking great, but I basically want to try and figure out a time to have breakfast, because it's so difficult. Let me know what you do, because when I wake up, I'm not hungry. When I wake up, I don't really want to eat. I don't feel that hungry. And like I was saying yesterday, like I'm noticing, because I'm going to the gym more, I'm not feeling like super ready. I feel like I'm hungry in the gym, which is not a good feeling. So I'm trying to fit in breakfast, but it's like you need to leave enough time between breakfast and going to the gym, but then you don't want to leave it so late that it interrupts your day, because if it's I would be getting ready to go to the gym now at 8:30, 9, and so I can get home and like kind of do a bit of work before the gym and then get home, get ready and get on with my day. But now it's like, yeah, I just need to get up earlier. Today I didn't get up early enough because obviously we were out last night. So I just need to get up earlier and have breakfast like an hour after waking up and have it earlier. It's just an off day, I guess. That's all it is. I'll figure it out. I'll get into the routine, see how this makes me feel. Fingers crossed when I go, I don't feel sick. Well, I've made a porridge, so I feel like that's quite a good pre-gym breakfast, but we'll see. I'll figure it out. So funny how you go through cycles, and I'll probably realise that I'm going to go back to maybe a habit that I used to have that I just forgotten about. So I'm going to do about half an hour of work before going to the gym and tick off some to-dos basically, and then head to the gym. Right, time to go to the gym. The issue I'm going to have with this... The issue I'm going to have with this routine is that I'm going to lose my motivation, because now I've sat and I'm dressed and I've eaten. I'm like, gym? But maybe it'd be fine if it was a bit earlier. I did wake up late today. I look crazy. Right, bye, Alex.
Can you see it?
Look at this arm. Mommy, mama, mama. I love you. You're about mum. Yes, you're about mum. Good girl. Good girl. You're so pretty. You know that you're so pretty, don't you? Yes, you do. Alex's delicious homemade crumpets. That, by the way, Alex, everyone was so impressed with these on my Instagram. My mum even messaged and said that's very impressive for a first go. And I've seen people talk about this because it's actually quite hard to get the holes.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, like I can't believe how you could have told me that you bought those from like a nice bakery and I'd believe you.
Do you like the look of the holes?
I hate the holes and the sheer volume of butter you put on there.
It's got to soak in.
Why so much butter? But they look so good.
That's what the holes were engineered for, butter.
Someone said something about, are they English muffins? And that is offensive to English people.
I don't know what an English muffin is.
Exactly.
Do English people eat English muffins?
No, it's just maybe it's a American thing, or I don't know.
Is that what you get? Like,
crumpets have holes in them. English muffins don't.
is that what they sell at Burger King in America? An English muffin.
Or people think that we eat loads of English muffins. I don't think I've ever eaten one in my life.
Is that thing a McMuffin?
A McMuffin?
What do they sell at McDonald's? They sell some sort of muffiny thing. But it's not like...
We don't like McDonald's.
I love McDonald's.
No, you don't. We hate McDonald's. McDonald's is vile and evil. We're off on an adventure, you and I. I've got the G7X out. Throwing it back to the G7X. Haven't used this in a while, purely because I couldn't find the battery. But I found it, so we're off. It's so freezing. I'm a stock record, but it is freezing. And I feel like I'm always vlogging in the car now, but maybe that's quite nice because I'm actually taking you along with me every day. We're gonna go to the gym, and then afterwards I'm gonna go to B&Q and basically start a new adventure, a new project with you. So obviously I sampled paints on the office a while ago. Maybe I've already mentioned this morning. Have I? I don't think so. I sampled paints with you a while ago on the office, and we have sat on it for so long because we couldn't make our mind up, and I've shared it with you so many times, and so many people have had different opinions. The two sides of the argument are the pale colour is going to get dirty really quickly, the pale blue. I'll leave images for reference, and yeah, you'll regret that because you'll have to repaint it. And then the positives of the pale blue is that most people seem to like that colour the most, in terms of the fact that if I paint the office, I also want to paint our front, back and back door that same colour, and probably also the Wendy house that colour. So there's kind of some kind of synchronicity happening in our house, and maybe even a gate when we paint the gate. So there's this kind of theme going on. I love it when you go to houses. There's lots of National Trust houses where all of the gates, all of the doors are all the same colour, and it creates this beautiful feeling and sort of sense of consistency. And we've got a gate there that I'd love to paint, just that kind of thing. The other colours, the sort of darker blues, the grey blues, lots of you say they'll be better because they will last longer. They're more kind of like, they all sort of blend in a little bit more with the environment, but the downside is they essentially look grey. And considering that we live in Cornwall and the UK, it rains a lot, and those kinds of grey blues end up looking more grey in daylight. In the house, they'll look blue because there's faux lighting and that kind of stuff, but outside, the I think it's called Denims, is a beautiful colour, but outside it looks grey on a rainy grey day, which is the most of the year. So we have decided to go with Palmer Grey. That's the colour we painted our hallway. I know it's something that potentially we'll have to touch up the paint for, but realistically the amount of houses and the amount of places that are painted white and they have marks on them, and you don't really bat an eyelid because it's an outdoor building, it's just something we just will have to maintain, and I'm happy with doing that. You know, if it means that every couple of years I have to touch up the paint, then that's fine, and maybe I'll regret it and we can change the colour later, but it's what my gut is telling me, that for an outdoor building I want it to feel bright and light and not depressing on the days when it's grey, which is so much of the time. I also don't want to go for greens or blacks because I feel like that's very popular. I feel like everyone paints their shed green, and it's beautiful and it's gorgeous and I love it, but I want something a little different. It's the same reason that we went for the blue limestone on our patio. It's very trendy and common to have the Cotswold stone, the limestone, which is beautiful, but I just think because we're in Cornwall, I'm trying to sort of build that element in, and a lot of the National Trust houses in Cornwall have blue, like slate blue colours, because Cornish slate is a thing here, and we're by the sea. I just kind of want to build that element in, and I think the reason that the greens and the yellowy Cotswold stone work in other areas of the country is because they're inland and they've got that lovely yellow stone, and it just matches it really, really well. And I kind of don't want to just try and apply that to Cornwall when it doesn't really fit. Even our granite is a lot more grey than Cotswold stone, and I feel like it brings that out. So that's my mentality anyway, and I think that it will work really beautifully with the blue limestone. This isn't to say, by the way, if you have a green shed or that lovely yellow limestone, that that's a bad thing. I think it's beautiful, but I think that what I'm saying is I don't want to just do that because that's what I think is actually really pretty, because it is actually probably my preference in terms of what I think looks lovely. It's more that because we're in Cornwall, I just feel like I should embrace something different to show off that side of things. Anyway, that's my ramble. We're going to go to the gym, then we're going to go to B&Q, we're going to look at primers, going to look at paints, and I'm gonna just get going today. I worry about my time. My nail appointment got cancelled, so that's fine, but I do have to go out later at 4, so I've got this kind of pocket of time that I'm just gonna start. And I think that that's the best thing to do when it comes to renovations, is just start. Just get going with it. Go to B&Q and just have it a consistent thing you're doing every day. And let's go, because I've been talking for 5 minutes. Whew. I am sweaty. What a way to warm up. So workout done, lower body done, feeling strong. Actually, it did feel quite good to have eaten, because there were a few moments in them where I was just like, you know, when you have that thought in your mind when you're working out, and you're just like, I cannot be bothered. And you're like mid doing a set and you're just like, no, I don't want to do this. I was doing like hip raises, glute bridges at the end of the workout, and it was like 20 reps with a band, and I was just like, no, I don't want to do it. But I think because I'd eaten, I was like, well, I have the energy, so it's actually a mind over matter thing. But yeah, feeling sweaty, had a really good stretch at the end. I really like that Copilot Fitness has the stretching included and the warm-up included, so I know that my workout is, let's just go on here, I know that my workout is 45 minutes completed, including the warm-up and the stretching at the end. And I actually think it makes such a difference to your workouts when you're actually stretching, and you're not just like quickly just going like this. You're spending like 45 seconds on each stretch, doing each leg, each, you know, whatever body parts you've done, and all the stretches are like according to the workout. So like I did, you know, like hamstring stretches and pigeon stretches, those kinds of things, so that you're fully stretching the muscles you've used, which helps with your flexibility, number one, when you're doing strength training, and number two, it also improves your recovery. And the flexibility and the recovery are so important when you're training, because if you aren't flexible, you're not going to have as good form on squats, on deadlifts, which means you won't be able to lift as heavy, which means you won't grow your muscles as much and you won't get more bang for your buck. So if you're working out and you're not including stretching, definitely do. And I have got a 14-day free trial with Copilot if you want to give it a go, because honestly, I'm loving it. I know I'm all on the gym hype and it's all I'm talking about in all my videos, but you know, it's just, I'm feeling very motivated, and I'm finding it just very fun. So that's what my channel's about, sharing what I'm finding fun. So now we're going to go off to B&Q to have a look at their paints and primers and stuff quickly, and then I'll head home and have some lunch, my lovely wild garlic soup that I made. Did I vlog that? Yes, I did. Right, look at this advertising by B&Q. So we got our Valspar paint. I talked about this before, but if you are on a budget and you want the nice paints, colours from places like Farrow and Bull and all the other lovely paint companies, then you can go to Valspar and B&Q and get it colour matched. So I got the Palmer Grey from Farrow and Bull colour matched to Valspar wood exterior paint and masonry exterior paint, and I was going to get primer, but she advised if it's already been painted and it's like I'm going to sand it and obviously prep it, we've power washed it, it doesn't need primer. She said, I don't actually know, people don't usually use primer because those kinds of paints, they're designed, they have like a 20-year guarantee, they're kind of designed to have that in it. The only way you would need primer is if you're painting onto raw wood or onto like plaster, has never been painted before, because obviously that's absorbent. So I'll just make sure obviously we prep the wall properly. But usually what I like to do with prepping is I will roughly sand the wood and you know, roughly kind of like see if there's any marks on the outside of the building. But I always like to do a initial coat, because then it kind of makes those imperfections more obvious, and it also saves time wasting kind of prepping things that actually don't show up once you've painted. But I'm very happy we've got the paint and I can commit to it now, and if I hate it then so be it, but I think I'm going to love it. So I'm going to go home, shower, have some lunch, and then get the sander out and just start painting, to be honest, because I think that will make me feel motivated. I think I will maybe even start painting the masonry and see how that looks. although Alex might be like, Maddie, you're crazy. We'll give it a go. We'll see how far I get, because sometimes I say all this and it's, you know, it's 12:30, I'll get home and then I'll run out of time, so who knows. We're going to start on this wall because this is the wall that's the most visible, and as you can see it's pretty grim. I'm definitely noticing that there are like cracks and things, and I'm going to do what I said, where I'm going to do a coat and then do touch-ups, because in my experience it just helps to make visible the stuff that needs to be fixed, whereas if you do it too painstakingly first, you realise actually it looks okay once you've painted it. So I'm gonna just get a first coat on and see what it looks like and work my way round. This, I will probably only do a tiny section of this wall today. There's so many other things that we need to do. We need to get the guttering fixed, but this is kind of my way of like starting the process. So once I've done a layer of paint around the whole building, I'm gonna get a quote for the gutters and also a quote for our door. Then those can be fixed and then we can do the final touches. It's just kind of like that initial process of starting it essentially. And yeah, we may need new soffits. It doesn't look like it's ever been finished, to be honest with you. So I just need an expert to come and have a look at it all and say what needs finishing. But I would love to get really lovely black, maybe even metal guttering, because I think that could look really cool. I want to speak to lots of different people about the different guttering you can get, because obviously we need to re-gutter our house as well, so I can have that conversation with them and just get an overall picture. But it would just feel nice to have paint on the walls and it not look so disgusting. Painting is partially done. I will continue in the next, maybe tomorrow. Basically I'm filming a vlog video tomorrow, like a recipe video. Tomorrow I'm filming a recipe video, but they're like 15-minute recipes, meals. Hopefully tomorrow I will at least get a little bit done, because actually I only spent an hour doing that and I managed to paint the whole side. So if I spent another hour tomorrow, even if I just fit it in at the end of the day, then I could totally get another wall done. And then we just need to get the sander out and sand the wood. It is by no means perfect. It will need so much more work and touching up, but like I said, this is kind of like the first initial go at it. We've got Riverfood delivery, and just a quick reminder, if you want to grab yourself some Riverfood, I do have a £15 off link, so you get £15 if you sign up to Riverfood, which is wonderful. This week I didn't go for like a veg box because I'm doing 2 recipe shoots this week. So I just got specific ingredients, so you can do that with Riverfood. The veg boxes are cheaper. It's definitely the best bet is to get the veg boxes because they're cheaper, because obviously it's a specific controlled amount and it's seasonal, and they can obviously make the price cheaper that way. But if you can also buy things specifically individually. So we have avocado, which I'm going to leave out because they need to ripen. I think, did I get 2 packets of avocado? What's in here? Ooh, red peppers. We have got a load of onions, which actually I think I ordered 2 onions thinking it was 2 onions, but it's bags of onions, which Alex would laugh at because he'd be like, how would you not know it was 2 bags, because you would have looked at the price. But I don't. My brain is strange like that. Chilies. Lovely, lovely chilies. We've got lemons. I always get lemons. You can have like a recurring order with Riverfood where you have like the same thing coming every week. So if you are lazy and don't want to have to like choose stuff every week, you can just have a recurring veg box. And then if you like have lemons every week, or you have milk every week, they can deliver it the same every week. We've got red onions. Again, I think I did the exact same with the red onions. At least I've stocked up on onions now. Oh, apples. So we've got some delicious apples. Put those in a nice bowl. I think I've got a recurring delivery for tofu, so that I have an option for lunches. And then I think we've got 2 lots of, oh, that's tomatoes. Got some tomatoes. We have 2 lots of mushrooms, some chestnut mushrooms, which, oh, I eat mushrooms every day. I need to start buying more mushrooms. I have this thing where I like save it for the weekend because I love mushrooms on toast. But I really ought to just buy loads of mushrooms and just have them every day because I love them so much. And have, like, my dream breakfast would be mushrooms with avocado on toast with some kind of beans thrown in there as well, like some of these, like some chickpeas, like smashed chickpeas for protein. And I just listened to a podcast. I keep on saying I'm listening to podcasts. It's like I'm like obsessed with them at the minute, where before I was never listening to them. He was saying about how breakfast actually is the time of day that is really great for eating a big meal, because your body is like ready to metabolize food. So it's where you're going to get like the most nutrients, and your body is like fired up, ready to eat. So it's actually better to have bigger meals at the start of the day and smaller meals at the end of the day. Obviously everyone's very different though, because it's like that's like a cultural difference, or like your own personal schedule. But I just thought it was interesting. So I was like, maybe it's a time of day to have lots of goodness and protein, because your body is going to use it really well. That was a side note. Anyway, we've got herbs, mint, coriander, parsley. We've got leeks, delicious leeks, courgettes. Everything is wrapped in brown paper bags, which is great. Courgettes and limes. So I'm going to put this all away and then figure out what on earth I'm going to have for dinner. I think basically I'm going to get out stuff in the fridge that we've got in there already that needs to be eaten, and that's what we'll have for dinner, because I think pretty much all of this is very specifically for the recipes. And I'm so happy that it's sunny outside and it's light, and it is 20 to 6 and it's light outside. Like, that makes me so happy. And I bought daffodils the other day, and they're all coming out. They're like £1 for like a tiny like thing of them in M&S, and I've spread them out across like 3 different vases, and they're all in bloom, and it's so sunny outside and it feels like spring. I'm off on a stroll with this little lady. It's been raining on and off, so I've stolen Alex's waterproof. Sorry, a car came. Yeah, I've stolen Alex's waterproof coat, and Roxy and I are going to go for a stroll and get some wild garlic. So I'll show you, because again, I don't know if I showed you this, but I don't think I had the camera with me, so I don't think I did. I think I just showed me making the pesto. But I'm addicted now. I'm hooked. It's all I want. So I'm going to try and get enough to fill a jar so we can have it with those delicious pitters this week. And Alex requested it, so yeah. Lovely, lovely day, even though it was raining. Still very, I don't know, feels like spring is coming. Oh, Bobby! I was holding Bobby in the same hand. Feels like spring is coming. I just listened to, I'm like racing through the podcast at the minute, really enjoying them. Just listened to one about like, it's kind of about sugar, but kind of just about like processed foods, sugar. The guy who was doing it, I wouldn't recommend it really, because he was quite rambly. But now I'm about to listen to another one about a similar topic. I'm just like so interested in health and wellness podcasts. Just find it fascinating. So Gonna learn something new. I do think though I should subscribe to a different sort of style of podcast. Let me know your podcast recommendations, because I think it's good to learn new things in different subjects. So let me know if you've got any fascinating podcast recommendations. Here it is. Look at this carpet of wild garlic next to the stream. So what I'm going to do is just take bits and pieces from here and from down there. And when you're foraging, you don't want to ever pull a plant up, and you want to make sure that it's on public land. So this is a public footpath, and you want to I basically just take one leaf from each plant. I don't ever take like loads from one. I'll just pluck a leaf and then move along, and just until I've got a normal amount, and I'm going to take a bag full, just so that it can continue to thrive, because this just gets bigger and bigger, I swear. Maybe I'm just forgetting, but this year it feels very big. Maybe it's because it's been so wet that it's really nourished all of this. Look at the horses. Hello. So yeah, I'm just going to pick a load. I'll pop you down and pick some. Roxy's going to have to stay with me because she's very attracted to all the pheasants at this time of year, so you have to keep her on a lead.